we build up certain expectations about what things are supposed to look like and how things are supposed to go. And we see that challenge today in many ways, in the ways in which Naaman is given this invitation to experience a miracle, and he questions it because he doesn't think that it's happening as it should. And the people in the synagogue at Nazareth hear Jesus preach, but they can't fathom the concept that he, someone they knew, someone of their own town, someone of their own people, could speak like that or teach like that. He couldn't possibly be the Messiah. He couldn't possibly be the Christ because we know him. We expect something grander or something a little bit more out of the ordinary. And that's really at the heart of how it is that we experience God. We expect extraordinary things because we think of God as being extraordinary. And that's a good thing, to think of God as being completely beyond us, being completely extraordinary. That's the nature of God as divine, beyond our understanding. And so it kind of rocks our world when we experience something seemingly ordinary and we find God there. Where do we find God, and how does God defy expectations? We find God sometimes in the little. Jesus himself tells us that he is often in the one who is the last, the least, or the lost, the one that we're called to reach out to, the one that we're called to serve. We find Jesus in the least of our brothers and sisters. As the Lord says, "There I am." When you do that, when you do those things to the least of my brothers and sisters, there I am. When you do it to them, you do it to me. You serve them, you serve me. That's hard to fathom, because it means that no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, we're always having to look beyond the obvious. And that's, even when we think we know the Lord, a reminder that the Lord is always saying, here's something else. That might be frustrating in the path, in the life of discipleship, that every time we think we've got it down, our God is still a God of surprises for us. And that's what the life of devotion is meant to be about, that we're always seeking, we're always making a priority of looking for God. That's really what devotion is about, looking for God and finding him. Not just in the ways we would expect, because the formulaic things, if I do this, then I'll experience some grace and blessing. The Lord is there in that. We come to Mass, we open our hearts, and we receive the Lord in the Eucharist in what is seemingly an unexpected way. In the small morsel of bread, Jesus says, "This is my body given for you." But it's not always so automatic, so much as it's about devotion, our fervent seeking, searching, and our openness to being surprised. So let that guide your path today, the openness to what you don't expect. And maybe it's something more simple, more humble, more minuscule than perhaps you might even be looking for.